Hey, it's your boy Anthony Grigsby with World Events Insurance, worldeventsga.com, represent San Joaquin Black Biz. And today's Talk Tuesday, and we got a great guest for you today. Actually, I'm going to be having my brother Keith Grigsby on the show. He's a marketing account guy for iHeart Media. Really knows his stuff, man. Has done some big things. He's worked with the Black Information Network. That's with Charlemagne the God out of New York. That's his new network for Black businesses. He's worked with HBCUs. He's worked with the Black College Expo. Even on the small level, man, like out in Oakland, the Vegan Mob, Black-owned restaurant, he ran a successful campaign for them. So it's really, man, we're talking today about, small businesses really tying in and getting their marketing down, because without marketing, if you're not spending money on your marketing, you're really just working a hobby, so we're going to talk about that. So, hey, man, without further ado, we're going to bring my brother to the stage, to the camera. Let's welcome Keith Grigsby with iHeart Media. All right, everybody, man, we got my boy here, Keith Grigsby. I told you he was my brother. We're going to be talking about some marketing for small businesses. As I mentioned in the intro, Keith is with iHeart Media. He's a marketing executive there. Definitely knows his stuff, works with a lot of Black businesses on a national level as well as the local level. So we're going to just go into a few things as to why small businesses can utilize, need to utilize marketing services, and how they can utilize iHeart Media to their advantage. So Keith, man, how's it going this morning?
It's going great. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here and talk about marketing, particularly for small businesses. It's been something that kind of historically has seemed out of reach for smaller businesses, and so I'm definitely happy to kind of talk about why it's important for the market, and just some of what they can do, and how channels are kind of changing, and especially after the pandemic. Things are. It's whatever your playbook was, you have to write a new one. So don't feel bad if you didn't have a playbook, because anybody that had one is writing a new one now anyway. So
okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, so I mentioned that you've done some national campaigns and you've done some local campaigns. Give us a little bit about just touch base on a couple of national projects you've worked on and a couple of local projects that you've worked on.
Worked with the Black College Expo. They do obviously their expo all over the country. So we've worked with them, partnering with them to kind of help them to reach not only those students, but the parents. And with them, people kind of see them and think that they're huge. But we did a lot of targeted things and things like that we would do for a smaller operation as well. A little closer to home, worked on a campaign, and actually working on another one for a local Black-owned vegan soul food restaurant.
Okay.
Really excited about that. Again, for me, I like to try to find these businesses that definitely need this marketing piece, but thought that for whatever reason, maybe they thought they couldn't afford it. Maybe they just were intimidated by the process, whatever it is. I like to try to find those and work with those whenever I can. And again, like I said, with the vegan restaurant, we were really successful with the campaign last year, and they came back to us to put something else together. So really excited, and hopefully we can kind of keep moving the needle with those smaller businesses. I mean, the statistics say that particularly with Black-owned businesses, that 40% of Black-owned businesses aren't going to survive the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I think something like 95% of Black businesses are, sole prop with, typically just one employee. So a lot of them didn't qualify for, for the emergency funds and things like that.
Uh-huh.
So we're just trying to do our part, and me, to try to help drive traffic and try to help these businesses survive and find cost-effective ways to do so whenever possible.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So we're going to dive into some of these bullet points, but one point I want the audience to really take home is if you're not spending money marketing your business, you're actually just running a hobby.
Yeah, no, definitely. And honestly, it's the cost of doing business. That's just what it is, and what and what I especially when you kind of stop to think about, a lot of businesses don't market because they think of it as an expense. And if your marketing is an expense, then there's a disconnect. Because when we talk about marketing, one of the main factors that we bring up is the ROI, because it's exactly that. Your marketing should be an investment, and it should bring, whether it's traffic to your website, whether it's foot traffic, whatever it is that you need. If you're working with the right partner and they're working to figure out who you need to reach and how, then there should be a return. They should be able to show you, there should be, as an example with us, just about everything that we do, you're going to have a live dashboard for most of it. You'll be able to see how it's performing. It's one thing to get, a report at the end and look at it and sit down with someone and say, hey, well, we could have done this, and this better. Well, that money is gone now. And so with us, it's definitely important that we try to optimize campaigns as they're going, so that if there are changes or adjustments, we can make those and give you that return on investment that you're looking for.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool, man. Well, let's dive into some of these points that can really help, small businesses identify and move forward on their marketing campaigns. So, one of the bullet points that, that we'll talk about, let's touch base on is why is marketing vital to small businesses, especially after the pandemic? So give a little bit about that.
Well, honestly, Anthony, consumers have formed new habits. They're trying out new brands. E-commerce has exploded. When we went through our initial shelter-in-place orders, a lot of these habits, are gonna stick. It's convenient to have things delivered to your house. If you're a single mom, and you can order something on someone's website and have them bring it out to the curb, if it's a brick and mortar, you're likely going to continue that after the pandemic. That way you're not piling kids in and out of the car and all that kind of thing. Small businesses need to make sure they're doing what they can to become one of these new habits. And that's just what it is. And if you're not doing something to make people aware of the goods and services that you provide, then like you said, it's a hobby. And maybe somebody will come along and discover you, and then maybe they won't, but you have to be proactive in this market because there's opportunity.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great. Those great point on that. So next thing is knowing your customer segment is extremely important. Me as a business owner, you can't say my customer base is everybody 0 to 99 years old. Can't do that. You have to narrow your focus to who specifically is most likely to benefit and utilize your services, and then you tie and focus your marketing dollars there. So talk about a little bit about how you guys help to identify the client's customer base.
Well, that's a great point. It's definitely not a one-size-fits-all proposition. Marketing messages need to be personally relevant. They need to be aligned to an individual's situation and values. You need to create a personal connection, and doing that requires, consumer segments, excuse me, that go beyond, demographics like age and gender, geography. Like you said, it can't just be that simple. The more granular you get, the more targeted you can get, the more likely you are to reach someone that's going to come and support your business. It's it's about kind of describing people and understanding consumer segments according to multiple dimensions. So that's purchasing behavior, attitudinal, psychographic. And so with us, we work with you to kind of get down to the nitty gritty, as it were, of who your clients are. If they're coming from specific zip codes, the more the easier it is for us to help you. Now, because we're, such a large company, whatever it is that you do, we reach 9 out of 10 Americans nationwide. So whatever it is you do, whoever you need to talk to, chances are we're already talking to them. If you need that 10th American, we probably can't help you with that, but I don't know who needs that person. Now, that being said, the chances that we've partnered with a business similar to yours in one of our other markets is pretty good. So we usually have a good idea, segment to segment, who you're looking for and who fits, with whatever, service or product you have. So that's definitely something that we can provide that information, that data. And it's like sports, data and analytics. It's everything.
Yeah, yeah. And in reaching those customers and those granular segments of those customer bases, people think that iHeart Media is just radio, right? So you guys actually have a lot of tools that can really target a person's clientele, right? What are a couple of those tools?
That's why we're iHeart Media, and iHeart Radio is our app. Now, again, radio is definitely our foundation. Audio as more apt is definitely our foundation. Audio is the #1 reach medium in America. More people are reached by audio than anything else. You think about when you're out and about day to day, and you see people with earbuds. What are they listening to? Whether it's radio, podcasts, things like that. So with iHeart Media, in addition to our radio properties, and we have over 800 radio stations nationwide, we also have, again, there's our iHeart Radio app, which basically just kind of augments our broadcast radio and is a bit more targeted. And again, when you're dealing with smaller businesses, a lot of times that's what you need. If I'm a small brick and mortar business, I may not need to advertise to the entire region. Maybe people are only going to come, from 15, 20 miles away.
Yeah.
So with, a lot of what we do, whether it's, the streaming or an email campaign, social media, in all honesty, a lot of what we do is we're able to target down to the zip code. So if for a fact, okay, well, I need, this half of, say, for example, you're out in San Joaquin County. I need this half of San Joaquin County, but I don't need the other half. One of the things that we can do is we can, again, get right down to the specific zip codes. Another one of the things that we offer that people don't necessarily think of us as is that we have a television solution. And, right now, I think something like, especially here in the Bay Area, pretty close to half of Bay Area residents don't have traditional cable. So if you're doing, a cable or a broadcast TV buy, you're missing that audience. There's no way they're going to see what you have, and again, going back to knowing who your segment is, those that do have cable skew a bit older. So if you know that, okay, well, I need a younger demographic, chances are they're not going to be there, and so again, the other thing is, a lot of our partners, do buy TV, and one of the things that they like is it's targeted, because again, going back to what you said, often coming in, they think of us as radio, and it's okay, well, I have a business in Oakland per se, and somebody's not driving from San Jose to Oakland, to come to my tire store or what have you. And so they'll tell you, well, that's why I like to buy, TV, because I can buy zones. And again, going back to that example of you being in San Joaquin County, if I only need, half of the county, I may have to buy, that county may be broken up into 2 zones. And I don't really need both of those entire zones. So again, kind of going back to that cost piece, there's going to be a lot of waste. Now, again, when you kind of are going back to, okay, well, we're doing this by zip code, you can be a lot more surgical. You can be a lot more precise, and you can be a lot more cost effective with your marketing dollars. In all honesty, I mean, anything that you're doing with just about anyone from a marketing standpoint, whether it's, okay, well, I'm doing, I'm working with, with Facebook because I want to do social media marketing. I'm doing some things with Google. We do all of that. You know, very often, we work with partners that, that's what they were doing. And, they maybe came to us for the radio piece or something else that they know that we do, and
Yeah.
eventually transition all of that. I mean, we're a one-stop shop.
That's right. That's good. That's good. And I know you didn't mention it, but we've talked about it a little bit. You also have the ability to target people's cell phones and their cell phone traffic or their search patterns to tie it into someone's business as well.
Almost definitely. Yeah, we again, it goes back to data. We all, are aware that our personal data is used, and it's used in targeting. And we have, as far as cell phone data, I believe we have access to over 80% of the cell phones in America. So we can serve your messaging directly to a person on their mobile device. What we like to do is, we like to present the correct messaging to the correct person where they are. They shouldn't have to, they shouldn't have to come to you. You're going to them. And to that end, we can do things also like geo-targeting, geofencing, and things like that. So if you have, a competitor in the area, we can, put a fence around, their location. And when people, are in and out of that area, they'll get served your ads. So they know, okay, well, yeah, you have this other option as well.
Wait a minute. So I'm going to walk into foot action. And right as I done into foot action, I'm going to get a message from Foot Locker.
Yep.
About, hey, I got you over here too.
From Foot Locker, but you're going to get a specific message from Foot Locker that, again, because we target based on consumer activity, so you're going to get a specific message depending on what Foot Locker, what their current initiatives were, if they have any particular specials, if we, based on your search history, we determine, you're a person that is interested in cycling. And let's say if there are, some shoes that are particularly great for cycling, then we can make sure that if that person, that's what the target is, when they get into that area, they're going to get that messaging. And it's the same thing, again, I mentioned, things like email campaigns. A lot of people do mailers and things like that because it's cost effective, but if you send a mailer to my house, for one thing, personally, I probably check my mail about once a week, and any mailers typically get tossed out, because maybe I'm the target for that, maybe I'm not, but I often get things, about, summer camps and things for kids, and I don't have a kid that young anymore. So that's just waste. Now with an email campaign, you have a bit more control over the targeting. The other thing with an email campaign is we have the ability to retarget. So when someone interacts with that email, we can tell, who's opened it. We can tell how long they spent looking at the email. We can tell if they went from that email to your website. And we can, show our work on how we were able to determine that. And then if it is someone that's interacted with the email, we can retarget that person, again, kind of going back to that, that piece about their device, with those mobile ads to kind of remind them of, of your service, your products, whatever it is. And again, this is someone that we've determined is the correct market for you in the first place.
Yeah.
And so it just really comes down again, back to that data piece and making sure, the right people are getting that messaging, because that's how you convert. I mean, if it's, and a lot of people.
Hold on, stop right there, because you just said a good point. But you said the word convert.
Mm-hmm.
Those of you that out there, watching this video, the whole point of you marketing is to get a conversion. That conversion could be not just a sale, that conversion could be you want them to sign up for your mailing list, you develop your mailing list. So if they go from your email and you track them into your website and they actually fill out the form, that's a conversion. You now have a customer base that you can retarget and drip market, which are those little ads that you're going to drop to them every now and then to remind them about your business and get them coming back. Those are all, so that was, I just wanted to touch base. So when you said convert, let them know that conversions are important. It's not just about the sale, it's about getting them to do what you need them to do to create a customer base.
Yeah, oh no, most definitely. And you know, that's part of the conversation that we have with you initially. You know, what do you need? You know, do you need, you know, is it a matter of, okay, well, I need people filling out this form. I need, you know, people applying for this. I need, you know, people just coming to the site. I need, you know, I need likes on my social page. You know, we have capabilities that can drive whatever the KPIs are. You know, and again, you know, like you said, you know, that conversion piece is everything, because otherwise, you know, what are we doing this for? You know, that kind of goes back to that return on investment, you know, and there should be one. And there should be, you know, whether you're working with iHeart Media or anyone else, you know, whoever it is, they should be able to show you, you know, case studies where whatever it is they're you know, telling you is going to work, there's an example of it working. You know, because again, you know, you're not in here making donations. You know, this is an investment, and there should be a return.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, so just so you know, just skimming through and continuing on these our bullet points. You know, we in your talks, you talked about you know, your demographics, which is you know knowing your customer and going into your marketing. You also have to know what your competition is doing. You have to know who your competition is. You know,
Yeah.
you guys can help identify, if a person doesn't really know, you can help identify who their true competition is in the market, right?
That is true. And you know, in all honesty, in today's market, you know, it used to be your competition was your competition, and in a way it still is. But in today's market, you're really competing with the last best experience your customer had. You know,
Wait, hold up, man. I like that statement. So let's just drive that statement home a little bit more. For all you small businesses out there, and for everybody that maybe you're in the service industry or maybe you're just dealing with customers, but what Keith just said is so important for you to understand. Your relationship or your reputation or your customer's viewpoint of you and your business is based on their last experience with you and your business.
not only just the last experience with you and your business, their last best experience in that segment. It might not have been with you. Maybe they're giving you a chance, and you're gonna have to live up to whatever their last best experience was.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Man, that's a great point, man. I'm glad you mentioned that. You know, so talk to us real quick. You know, about courting the customer, how getting the customer, dating that customer. Talk to us about that.
Well, you know, honestly, consumer expectations were already on the rise before COVID-19. You know, you think about it, Gen Z grew up with technology seamlessly integrated into their lives. With, again, kind of going back to, you know, companies having access to our data and our information, we were already being conditioned to expect a level of hyper personalization. And when the coronavirus hit, you know, and everybody went to a bit of a digital transformation, you know, that accelerated overnight. And that sent, you know, consumer expectations skyrocketing. You know, so in terms of, you know, what companies could do for them, you know, with a more digital experience. And often small businesses don't have access to as much of that data. You know, you kind of went back to, you know, when you were talking about, you know, if you need someone, you know, to fill out a form to get on your mailing list. And quick point about that, when we do campaigns, you know, like an email campaign, something like that, if you do have a list, we dedupe, you know, your list from our list. So we make sure we're only conquesting. We're not touching anybody that you've already dealt with. You don't need those. They're already in with you. So, and kind of going back to that dating piece, like you said, kind of takes us into the next bullet point where, courting customers used to be like traditional dating, and now it's more like online dating. And what I mean by that is historically, marketing has been largely about, buying mass reach, or targeted reach at the best rates and hoping to convert it. Basically, it was like going to as many parties or bars as you could, hoping you're going to meet that special someone, right? And so now,
this is a PG, G-rated show, man.
Well, I mean, like it's not that dating is very, that's just courting, sir. That's very family friendly. But now, it's less about chance, and more about, data and algorithms, just like with dating apps, you're looking for that perfect match now.
Yeah.
So that shift from brand marketing to build reach to performance marketing to generate leads, has been big because, again, being a bit more surgical and a bit more precise kind of allows you to control the cost a little bit more. So, again, it just really comes back to, that data, and, my background is in kind of small business. I was formerly in banking and worked with business customers. And yeah, you don't always have access to that data. And that's where you having a strong marketing partner comes in, because they have that access and they can work with you to figure out the best way, like you said, to court and date that customer.
Yeah, exactly. And that takes you into relationship building with your clientele and your customer and all that as well. So marketing allows you, people have to understand, marketing allows you to tell your story. Tell who you are, what you do, how you service the community or the clientele. So marketing is a facet that small businesses have to utilize to get their message across. This is not, what's that movie? If you build it, they'll come. What was that?
Field of Dreams. Yeah, no, it's not Field of Dreams.
Yeah, it's not Field of Dreams. They're not just gonna walk in.
They don't know about it. They can't come.
Exactly. So yeah, man. So man, give me your final wrap up, man, on just the whole the marketing concept and how it reinforces, it builds your market base, reinforces memory, gets them staying with your business. What's your wrap up about all that?
Well, again, kind of going back to what you said, building the relationships is important. And, you want to build that relationship with your customer founded on trust. And, advertising basically makes a brand promise, and then it's up to your product, service, whatever you're doing to live up to that promise. And, it's like they say, you don't get a lot of chances, you get one chance to make a first impression, and that trust piece is everything, and little things like, you see a lot of people and, they market, their business, their services on Facebook, and then there's no website. Even little things like having a website builds that trust, with your clientele. It legitimizes your business. It's the same thing with marketing. Marketing legitimizes your business, whether it's, hearing, an audio campaign, it just makes it seem legitimate and real. Oftentimes, when you're on Facebook and you see people, kind of going back and forth, and there's always somebody in the comments, has anybody ordered from them? Is this real? Is it legit? You don't really ask that about a business that, that you're getting an email campaign. And again, it's a branded campaign from an iHeart, from someone else, something like that. And one of the things, to kind of wrap up, one of the things that I often hear, especially from small businesses, is, word of mouth. Word of mouth advertising is the best advertising you can have. That's somebody telling, people how much they enjoy, your business, your services, your products, all that stuff. And what I always tell people is, yeah, word of mouth is great. But my question is, why would you leave it up to someone else to tell your story? You know, marketing is word of mouth that you control. You know, I think Drake said it. You can't listen to me talk and go tell my story. You know, let me tell the story. You know, nobody's going to tell your story like you. And that marketing piece, you know, kind of going back to building and maintaining memory. If I don't know you're there, I can't support your business.
Yeah.
You know, marketing, you know, is how you become a memorable business. It builds those memory connections, you know, so that, you know, because I may not need you today. You know, I may not need, you know, new insurance today, but when I do need it, if you've been marketing, you're in my head, you know, and then when I think of, okay, well, who am I going to search out? You know, I may just, you know, and it may not be that I search you out directly. Maybe I just look up insurance, you know, and you're one of the ones that comes up. If I'm aware of you and I'm familiar with you, I'm going to see that name and I'm going to remember that. Oh, yeah, that's the one that I heard, or that's the one that I got that email for. Or better yet, maybe I got the email campaign and I ended up on your page through that, you know, but whatever it is, you need to be doing something to tell your story. And the other thing that I would say is don't just assume that marketing is out of your reach. You know, don't assume it's something that you can't afford. You know, talk to someone. You know, I mean, I've built many campaigns for companies as a first campaign that thought that that marketing was out of their reach.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying that, you know, we can have you, on the radio, on TV every hour, you know, but doing something, especially if it's something that's strategic and planned to the right audience, makes a huge difference.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, so real quick, man, how can people get a hold of you to even set up a consultation to see what they can and cannot do?
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm happy to give my information, happy to talk to anyone. And again, like you said, even if it's just a consultation, even if you just have questions, you know, feel free to reach out. I can be reached via email at Keith, Keith, Grigsby, Grigsby at iHeart Media. You know, you can also give me a call at 415-710-0606.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, man, you know, I appreciate you taking the time out your busy schedule. I know you got clients to meet, you know, things to handle. But I definitely appreciate you taking the time out, man, and talking to my audience. You know, as I said, man, you know, this is my brother, but family is family, business is business. This cat knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. He's worked with some heavy hitters to small local businesses. And it's really about getting your message across. So, hey, man, this is Anthony Grigsby, World Events Insurance, worldeventsga.com, representing San Joaquin Black Biz. Don't forget to hit that button and like and subscribe so we know what videos we have coming out. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget, as I always say, shop black, but shop Black Stockton. We'll catch you next time.